Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Here we are with episode 3 of my reusable program to Minmus. And as you can see, my little vehicles are already in space. So let's proceed with this mission real quick. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the transfer vehicle loose. And that went along pretty uneventfully. We're going to deploy its solar panels. It's like a jellyfish or something, I don't know. And we're going to raise its periapsis. I'll show you why. Right now. We're ahead of the station, so we need to get outside the 150 that the station's orbiting at so it can catch us. Yeah, I'll circularize that later. Okay. And this one, I think if I deploy its panels, it'll hit on this stuff and break some. I'll just leave it on these for now. Now what I need to do here is get my Minmus transfer going. Where is Pescula Minmus? There it is. Okay, so it's at one of the low points. I might be able to intercept it there on the upswing, so let's do it. That way I don't have to do any inclination stuff. Perfect. Alright. So let's see, the burn was going to happen in 20 some minutes. Let's time accelerate there. Let's see, how far around are we? I want to keep an eye on this periapsis because we probably want to circularize that. Let's see. How far away from periapsis are we? Not very. Okay. Just gonna eyeball circularize this one. Good, now this Jason is chasing us. Let's see, hopefully we didn't miss the transfer. Nope, still got 3 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to start pretty early, and the reason why is because I need to calibrate my engines. Since we lost the transfer vehicle, now I'm out of balance, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the thrust limiter and my little steering thing here to see what I need to do about this. Now, it's going to be lighter on top, so the one that I'm going to want to limit her down is this one. So let's do this. Let's put it at about a quarter, and let's see what happens. Okay, so see how it has to steer up to keep it straight? So now I'll just limit her this down. Let's limit her to about 65. And give it some more gas and see what happens. I think I limited it too much. Let's put it back to about 70. Give it even more gas and see how it fares. Ah, very nice. Okay. So we're kind of going early, but whatever. Let's wait a little bit more. Okay, here we go. Now that fuel load should be balanced. Now these maneuver nodes are terrible, so I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna throttle down here towards the end because this kind of gets touchy. Okay. See how we're doing with fuel here? We're doing pretty good. Good. Now, since this one's limited down, this one's limited down, when it switches to these tanks, the fuel burning is not going to be even, and I'll start listing. So before I do anything else, what I'm going to do is transfer all the outer fuel tanks into the middle tank, and that way we'll get an even burn from just one tank. As you might imagine, this has caused me problems in the past, but I learned and now I'm applying it to this video so that I can do it all in one take. Alright, so that's good. So this down this way to Minmus, and this thing getting ready to get caught by the station. Good. We have time. We have lots of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to design the second to last new thing for this mission, which is our outpost on Minmus. So this is going to be where the guys live. It's going to have the big probe body. This is a scientific mission after all, so it's going to have a lab. I'm going to use a similar technique to what I did to make the station. And our, standard issue crew thing is going to be there. We're going to move it so that it's right in the middle. Sink it down a little bit. Okay. Now let's strut it a little bit so it doesn't wobble. And we're gonna put solar panels on it, of course. You don't have to pull any punches with the solar panels now because this thing's going to be on the ground and nothing's going to really be messing with it. So let's whip out the Gigantors and put one on either side, right in the middle. These Gigantors are, of course, going to be charging a battery. Let's put a big battery here in the back. And now time for legs. So it's gonna land, it's gonna sit like this on the ground. Well, let's put both the legs and the lights on as such. So let's put some of these lights. One on each side, of course. I want them under the solar panels also. Kind of aiming down. And legs. So, gonna use the big legs. And let's see. So first thing, let's flay them way out so that it's real nice and stable. And then, now they have a good angle, I'm going to copy them. Well, that's weird. I wonder why it's copying them at such a weird angle. That makes no sense. Okay. Whatever. Let's just do it the regular way. So they're roughly the same angle, they're just placed differently. Let's fix that. That's a good setting for them. Let's do the same to the other ones. Looks pretty good. Alright. We'll leave those retracted for now. They almost disappeared. Now, what else do we need? Just for show, I guess, we'll put some communication stuff. An antenna there. And some more antennas over here. Alright. Now how is this thing going to land? Well, let's take care of that right now. So we're going to put 2 decouplers. Now remember that the red arrows point to where it's going to separate. So if we want this not to be stuck to the habitat, the arrows have to point into the habitat. We can make this identical on both sides, so I'm just going to use symmetry. Later I'm just going to copy paste it, so we're going to want a big control wheel. I want the smallest big tank possible, which is going to be this one. And this is going to be the Minmus. We don't really need much in the way of engines, so let's go to, I don't know, let's just do overkill. What's the worst thing that can happen? It's too powerful? No, I don't think so. Okay. Copy that and put another one on the other side. And that's perfectly capable of landing itself. Now, we do want it to we want to be able to control it from above, so it can come in for a nice controlled landing. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the rover. I'm going to put an extra little probe body up here. You know what? I'll put it on the piece that I'm going to jettison so I don't have to have an extra probe. That's a good idea. And of course, we need the octo to be legible, not upside down. There it is. So I'll control it from here when I'm landing, and I'll control it from here when I'm flying, and that's where it'll be controlled for the most part. And there we have our ready to land habitat. Call that the hab, and save it. Now, this is to get into space. I need to have enough rocket fuel to get to Minmus. So, first of all, load our hab. And get ready to launch it into space. Alright, so that's fine there. We are going to want another big decoupler here. And this is going to lead to another one of these big tanks. We're going to really want a good amount of fuel in this one because that's to get us all the way to Minmus after we get into orbit. We have 2 controllers and have big control panels, so I'm not worried about controlling it or having battery power. Let's use a skipper for this one. And on top of that, we're going to put the big decoupler. And just our two-stage lifter, sort of like what we had in the last one. This might be a little heavier, but we'll see. Okay. So engine, stability enhancers is good. Did I not decouple those again? Yep. Decoupler and engine. Decoupler and engine. Decoupler and engines. And that should be okay. Looks funny, but it'll fly. I hope. Okay. This one's pretty chubby too, but here it goes. It's about the same as the last one was. It's taken off at normal speed. Okay. So I'll go ahead and leave this right there. So I'll launch this into space and circularize it. Set it on its transfer flight to Minmus. And I'll see you guys next time for the arrival at Minmus of the lander, as well as the habitat, and hopefully the rendezvous of the transfer vehicle in the space station. So for now, I'm going to just go ahead and leave this here for the boring part. I'll take care of this myself. You guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember to fly safe. Bye.